Hey there, pen fans. I'm Brian Goulet here of GouletPens.com, and today I'm going to be giving you a sneak peek at one of the LAMY Safari special editions for 2025. So LAMY has been doing one, if not more, special edition safaris each year, and this year there's two of them. So we have Sunset Coral here, of course, but then we also have Dark Dusk, and I've got a whole separate video on that if you want to go check it out. So LAMY's been pumping out some safaris in the last couple of years, really getting out there in terms of like matte and shiny finishes, combinations of different colors, some color pops, things like that. Some of them get pretty wild, but this one just keeps it pretty simple. You're just looking at a matte coral pen pretty much through and through. So let's go over some of the details. So we're starting out with a coral colored barrel, cap, and finial, as well as the grip section and trim ring, pretty much matte all the way around. The only somewhat shiny part is going to be on the clip, but honestly, it looks pretty close. It blends in nicely with the pen. It looks very, very, cohesive. And of course, the nib is going to be stainless steel, so it's that silver color. It's LAMY standard nib if you're used to it. If you've used any other LAMY steel nib, this is what you get. Now the nib, there's going to be three sizes that they come out with: extra fine, fine, and medium, that are going to be standard on Sunset Coral. But of course, the nibs are swappable. I got a video on that too. And you can change it out with, broads or stubs, or honestly, you could change it out with a black nib too. I think that would actually look pretty good with this. It's going to be coming with a LAMY blue cartridge standard fare for all LAMY pens. And if you want to live that ink bottled life, you can get a LAMY Z28 or Z27 converter. They'll both fit. And you can add it on there. It does not come with the pen though. Now with these special edition safaris, these are not going to be part of their regular line, at least as of, anything that I know. Could change in the future, way down the road. But usually what they do is they come out with these. They're around for a set period of time, not really like a clearly defined period of time. But what I mean by that is they're going to make like kind of a big batch of them. And then when they sell out, they're gone. So it's usually a year or more. So it's like you don't have to rush to go get them, but it's still not a bad idea to kind of jump on it if you're a collector like me and you want to make sure that you grab one, because they do tend to sell for a lot more on the secondary market once they're gone. All right, so let's take a look at some comparison pens, because it's really hard, especially with a pen like this. It's coral is it lean pink? Does it lean orange? It's really tough to tell just looking at it alone, especially on a monitor where it may not be color calibrated and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be helpful to do some comparisons to some other coral looking pens so that you can at least kind of see maybe how it compares to some others. So let's check those out. LAMY Safari Neon Coral. So again, kind of fits that coral theme, but this was a shiny finish. It had silver clip and black trim ring and black finial. So, it does look a little different. The color, I would say, is a little more subtle. It's a little more muted on the Sunset Coral, which I kind of vibe. And the pen itself just looks, more uniform with that matching clip and trim. LAMY Safari Pink. Side by side with the Sunset Coral, the pink one definitely looks much more pink. The coral's got much more of a kind of a reddish orange tone to it. And then of course the trim and everything, breaks up the pink one a little bit more. It looks much more cohesive on the Sunset Coral. LAMY Safari Strawberry. So strawberry is more of a red color, but this is a previous special edition that has all the matching trim and everything. It's a matte finish, just like Sunset Coral. So I thought these were a good comparison. Of course, you can see that it's more of a red color. Does have a bit of pink to it though. So they're not too far off from each other. And actually, I think they don't look too bad next to each other. LAMY Safari Red. And we got another regular edition here. So it's got the classic trim and finial and all that stuff. Much more vibrant color, and it's glossy instead of matte. So that does make it look a little more distinctly different. And, even the grip and everything, stands out with that trim ring, but, this is a regular color. So I thought might be good to show you side by side. TWSBI Eco T Coral Special Edition. So this pen's not available anymore, and it's, obviously a completely different pen than the Safari, but the coral color I thought would be good to compare. It's got a glossy finish to it, and it's a little kind of brighter pink, I guess. I think the Sunset Coral is a little more subtle, a little more muted in its tone. So with a bunch of recent safaris I've done, there have been multiple colors, which makes recommending inks all the more broad. This one's pretty narrow though, but there are a lot of good options in the coral range. So let's take a look at some good ink pairings to match Sunset Coral. LAMY Crystal Rhodonite. So this is going to be the closest LAMY ink to match this pen, I think. It's a bit more of a pink, but I think it can work. Diamine Coral. This is a conventional coral ink that I think is really like a true coral and matches really closely to Sunset Coral. Pilot Iroshizuku Fuyugaki. This is a coral that leans a bit more orange, if that's the way you want to go with it, but it's really well behaved in the pen, and I think it would be nice to use. Jacques Urban Corail de Tropique. This is going to be a great match, a really strong shader too. It might be a little more subtle than some of these other inks, but I think it would work really well. Diamine Pink Champagne. So if you wanted a little more pop in your ink, this is a shimmering ink. So it is a good coral. It leans a bit more pink, obviously, hence the name, but it is kind of a coral pink and will give you a little bit of sparkle. Sailor Manyo Sakura. So this is going to be a more muted, kind of a cherry blossom color. That's what Sakura means. But I think it goes kind of coral, and I think it would work pretty well for this if you wanted more of a subtle muted color. So Sunset Coral is going to be available at gouletpens.com for $29.60. Now, I'm releasing this video on April 26th, and it's going to be available for sale globally on April 29th of 2025. So if you are watching this before then, you can sign up for email notification on our site to know as soon as we have these. And if you're watching this after that date, you can find it regularly available on our site. I have to have a little disclaimer in here to say that with all the tariff stuff going on in April 2025 here, the price could change. Normally it stays pretty stable, but I don't know the world we're living in right now. So just give me a little bit of wiggle room there. But as of the recording of this video, that's what the price is supposed to be. And of course, if you want to get a converter as well, whether it's a Z28 or Z27, it's going to be an extra $6. It's not included with the pen. So get that if you want to live that ink bottled life. Now, I don't think you have to rush to go get this because usually we have pretty good stock right off the bat. But if it's a thing that you want to collect, and I would move it a little up higher on your list just in case. So there you go. Let me know what you think of Sunset Coral. Do you like the ink choices, the comparisons that I did here? I would love some feedback on that, or just in general, what do you think of this pen as opposed to some of the wilder ones that Lamy's been doing recently? I'm very curious to hear your feedback. So just leave notes in the comments there. You can subscribe to us on YouTube and a bunch of other places, TikTok, Instagram, all those places where we try to post everywhere that we can. And I just appreciate you watching. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and right on.